Hi Leo, I love you, honey. So we're gonna do a tiger eye spread. Quick tiger eye spread. I love you so much. So been so beautiful outside here lately. Just spending a lot of time out there trying to, love you so much, Leo. Let's see, my love. Tiger eye spread. Holy angels, holy spirits. You got the summer solstice in August. Listen, Leo season never goes out of season, my love. If the sun don't shine, everybody gonna die. That is a fact on humanity. Let's see, my love. Holy angels, holy spirits. To the divine above. Angels and ancestor gods. What is it that Leo can know? Let's see. 8 Pentacles right off the bat. That's mastery. At the top of your spread, you have 1 month. Within 1 month, there's a new moon. So we just went past a month with 2 moons. We're going to go through the next 3 months on this channel for perk here in the next couple days. Your external, you have 10 swords. What you want is the Wheel of Fortune. The negative aspect in this reading is going to be the 3 Pentacles. Someone tried to screw you over, and you know it. But you, however, King of Wands, Leo energy, or Masculine Fire sign, you have not said a word about it. You know your focus will make the Wheel of Fortune, make the water come through. 2 swords. What you don't want is an unclear path. What you're focused on right now, 5 Pentacles, be careful. What you're not focused on is the 4 of Cups. What's going to push you through is 9 Pentacle indeed. What you're going to chuck in the bucket. We're going to leave that right there because it hit it for a reason. You know, when you tip somebody's cup, that'll piss some people off. Some people will shoot you. Dang it. What's going to change or what needs to change is temperance. Sagittarius energy. What you don't know about is the Ace of Pentacles. 10 Cups and potential outcome. You have a couple people in your external energy that's jealous of the family life you have. Like they just can't. There is no competition. You're independent at peace with a change and a turning point on mastering what you don't see in the contract to justify spiritually. It's like spirit justifies it before it gets to you. And they're jealous about it. The 5 Wands is in your internal energy. A lot of competition. A lot of misunderstandings doing opposition to temper a lost opportunity. And that's what's going to change. You're not going to give a fuck about their feelings and you hope they find peace with it. Literally, that's what that says. So this is a couple people that you might not wanted to hurt their fucking feelings, but they challenged you. They misunderstood your interests. So for them not to misunderstand your fucking interests, you're going to start spinning the wheel and let the divine change it. You know that saying when you talk to the trees because the trees don't judge. They just find a way to make it happen. If you are a pure soul, they listen to you. Some trees will hug you, telling you it's going to be all right. Let's see, my love. Where your reading's going to start out is the 8 Pentacles. Look at that. You have mastered every sword against you. Detailed. The coward false pretense. I mean, talk about the betrayal. Because of the Page of Swords. Looking for some truth and clarity. Alone. You bring no one on your journey. You travel alone. That way you ain't got to explain yourself to nobody. The 8 swords with the 10 swords. You've went through enough. Your external energy is 10 swords. Somebody wants you to where you don't have any mentality left. You're curious, you know, what is in the 5 Pentacle? Because the 5 Pentacle up here, it's what you're focused on right now. You're looking for some truth and clarity, some sort of sign. Because yes. A low vibing intuitive lover. Vibing too low to be an intuitive lover. So you're blocking it and looking at it as it's just too good to be true right now. So you're not going to set yourself up for a destruction in your emotions. You're going to tell it to go fuck itself. If it's meant to come back, it's supposed to. And what's going on right now while you're doing that, honey? My goodness. You have a new moon here with new cycle beginning, not giving up. The only way for the plant to grow is for you to give a little water and a little seed, dirt. Plants can't grow without dirt. And through that, you're going to bring the star back here. That's the hope, faith, balance, renewal of this situation. And what you're going to bring in that is faith. You have to bring the faith. Without faith, you have nothing. Because right now, it's unrecognizable. Maybe people that you see in public don't recognize the faith that you carry. And here is the King of Wands. That's right there. Unsuccessful, temperance, to find peace and contentment with being heartbroken. He's got to break his heart and save his soul. And he has to give himself permission to do so. Well, in that case, where's the divine feminine here? Page of Cups. 7 Swords. Her offer was intercepted. 3 Pentacles, and that's what's been acknowledged in the 3 of Pentacles there. It's what's happening. The Emperor. The Emperor is acknowledging what he was working together with and collaborating with. It was unsuccessful. And seeing it for what it is and finding faith again until the new moon comes. Well, your internal energy, 8 Cups, 5 Wands. You felt like you were emotionally, passionately misunderstood. So the 8 Cups, you walked away from something that no longer emotionally serves your highest good. Anything that you know that's going to leave you unemotionally fulfilled. You literally put 8 swords in those 8 cups and you said, fuck it. And there's the King of Cups. Until the masculine learns to love himself. Because of the 10 cups that is in the outcome. Yes, that's a happy life, happy home. Even the dog eats good. But this is also children. You're manifested. You manifested. That's tricked. This feminine feels tricked. Which she made a justified move. She went ahead and broke her heart. 6 of Swords, 9 swords. That's going to be 3 swords. She manifested the divine to take her out of there. Because she was stressing over what she was reconsidering from the start. When it comes to her confidence. She doesn't want to be reconsidering her boundaries when it comes to her confidence, her vibrancy, when it comes to her feminine energy. She's like, hell no. External in this reading, 10 Swords, Ace of Wands. Oh gosh. When you get the 10 Swords, it's a minor arcana for the Tower. It's also being undermined over and over and over again. Here's your 8 swords over here and your 2 swords here. So you don't want to be blindsided by somebody bringing in new energy just because they don't have any. Well, what's causing the 10 swords? Nostalgic soulmates in the past. There's the Star. Spiritually enlightened soulmates that have faith, a new perspective. So you give this person a new perspective and new energy because they felt like they had nothing else to work with. 8 Pentacles, focus and acknowledging that it was an internal challenge of emotions after all. And it only 10 times folded the lesson. They know now that it wasn't, you didn't care about their emotions. Their emotions was their problem. That's why the Ace of Wands is here. It has to come with interest. Or it doesn't come in at all. A 6th sense soulmate with a new perspective after feeling you have nothing else left to do here. And there's the Devil. That's karmic friends. Capricorn and Pisces energy. Karmic friends. Knight of Pentacles. Analyzing the plan and preparation of comfort and change with a soulmate. Needing to stop telling those friends that are not looking for a twin flame soulmate nostalgic connection, need to stop telling them your plans and preparations of that realm, because they ain't gonna like it, because they ain't going. That's what's gonna change. That's the turning point. That's why you gotta let the water turn the wheel so the divine energy can take it. Divine court taking over. Charges doesn't have to be charged by you. Once you're in the spirit realm and you do it against a spiritual person, it's already right there. It's independently finding peace and contentment in the wheel of fortune, because you've mastered things you haven't seen in the contract to how to justify. When you feel like your emotions is being ignored, you acknowledge if their sixth senses is open. You acknowledge someone's here was not open, so you didn't allow it in. It's up to them, not you. Oh, it's flipping in reverse. The negative aspect of this is that's what's been acknowledged through collaborating this and putting it all together. There's a strength card. The external person has acknowledged your power, your strength, your courage, your power, your wisdom, self-love, self-care, self-attainment. The moon is in reverse. There is no secret of why the emotional confusion of the independent. Someone, oh, the independent. That's the one they ended it with. They were emotionally confused when they ended the cycle, but now since the secret is out, they are acknowledging, the Three of Pentacles literally carries the curtain in the back. It's got VIP access. The person in the Three of Pentacles only displays the work that they want to, but their best pieces are behind the curtain. That's what they're recognizing right here. Positive aspect of this is the King of Wands, masculine fire sign or Leo energy, being successful in what they're most passionate about, and they're visionary with the Five Swords. Figuring out that they've been internally challenged. But it's what they're stressing over is the Knight of Wands. Sexually immature level. They're stressing over ending all those cycles. They don't want to ever see these people again, really. The Nine of Pentacles, independent plan and preparation. They want to make their own plans and preparations and foresights. Well, just stop talking to everybody about them. But positive aspect, Leo, someone challenged your mentality, but now they have to level with the stress, anxiety. They thought they could walk on your shoes, that your shoes were easy to walk in. Figuring out they don't even know how to put the fuckers on. What's going to change or what needs to change right here is temperance. But is what you want out of this is the Wheel of Fortune and the waxing moon. You're manifesting every moon cycle to gain strength and gain momentum for the final steps and increase the karmic lessons or the blessings. The Fool. And you're doing it with freedom. You have no bills to pay. Anything that's holding you back from being free. Anything that's holding you back from just doing anything you want to do on this earth that you want to do. Anybody that's challenging your freedom, you're reconsidering the people that you allow in your circle when it comes to partnerships, especially the one that you've already left behind to find peace and contentment. You don't allow them to come back around in your comfort zone. They don't deserve it like that. What you do not want is that, the Two of Swords and the Magician. You don't want anything in that's going to block your manifestations. Blocking you from manifesting your dreams into reality. King of Pentacles, Taurus energy, that's your long-term partner of twin flame soulmate down here on earth. Until then, you're going to be an independent judgment. You're going to be your independent judger. The breaker 19, calling on the divine. You are cutting out the third party. Like, for example, some people call to make an order, and then the people that you call to make an order calls to make an order for you. No, you're cutting out the middleman. You're cutting it out spiritually. That way it's cut out down here on earth alone. Damn. What you're going to focus on right now is this Five Pentacles is up there with the Eight of Wands. This is low vibing communication, hot air that don't mean anything, words that don't go anywhere, conversations that shouldn't have never been said in the first place. What's in the Five Pentacles, because it's what started this reading out. Nine Cups, anything that's too good to be true. And there's the Eight Wands. Anything that sounds too good. That's what you're focusing on. Does it sound too good, or is it good? There's the Three Swords and the Page of Pentacles. Before you initiate a contract that's going to break your heart, you're going to receive the message that it's too good to be true, that it's there just to fulfill a small wish, but not forever. So it's a low vibing communication. Whatever the Five of Pentacles is, this is communication that doesn't deserve any interest. Just let the messages pass on through. Because what you need to not be focused on is the Four of Cups being tipped over. That's the offer of love being tipped over because of the Three of Cups. For example, you're out with a soulmate, with your divine union, and Three Cups pull up. They know one of you all, and they sit down, oh, we've ordered us some drinks, and you all don't want them at the table. What are you going to do? Here's the lunar eclipse here, which is going to coincide to your moon. What you need not to be focused on is a subconscious being revealed. Allow your subconscious to reveal to you what you need, okay? It's a new emotional cycle. To be able to see clearly, you have to allow the divine aid to send you some sort of message. Why did they try to tip your cup over? The Four of Cups carries the Ace of Cups being ignored, and the Four of Swords carries the Ace of Swords being hidden. And here's the Emperor. Five Wands. The Five Wands are right here. You walked away. They're reconsidering what they bring in and challenge you and misjudge. This is a spiritual contract. There is no competition for this stuff. You have one that you've been in lifetimes together. And you're only going to remember them when you both ascend a little bit. Once you touch, you can't untouch, no matter how the energy is intertwined. Whether it's through words, messages, or doesn't matter. What is the Ace of Swords that's hidden under the bed from the masculine? There's the Tower coming. That's the boom shakalaka boom boom. The Sun, he's going to be shockingly enlightened, the contract of truth. After he literally put the power in judgment because he was unemotionally fulfilled with the soulmate, Queen of Cups, and the Queen of Swords. Cancer and Libra energy. Took the bad energy, took the argument to the divine partner, which it was not their argument. What you need to focus on, what's going to help you through, is the Nine Pentacles and the Queen of Swords. So the Nine Pentacles is that happy, independent, self-assured, confident, and single kind of thing. And then you have the Queen of Swords here with the Sun. Struggling with turning the light on. Think of you trying to turn the spiritual light on and you got somebody over there turning it off every time you spiritually turn it on, and you're thinking, what the fuck, is the fuse broken or something? And there's the Queen of Pentacles. Maybe it's the woman that's being left behind that they're not flirting with anymore. They're not having sex with anymore. No more one-night stands. They're trying to release the negative energy, but the negative energy wants to leech on. And there it is. You have the Devil and the Chariot. They have to leave it and not look back. Once that judgment is made, it's got to be made for good. Only taking necessities and nothing of your wants. If you haven't seen it for 10 years, give it to the fucking neighbor. Because of the 10 Swords, not having a mind to work with anymore. It's going to apologize and be your own friend. Masculine, this is because the Sun is masculine energy, and you got the Queen of Swords here, that's Libra and Leo energy. It's an independent, strategic thought of an ultimatum of the light. If you turn that fucking light on, we'll never see each other again. That's what they're saying. You can't shine. Once you enlighten, you can't walk around in hell all the time. Now, if you're a divine counterpart and you needed to say something to the devil and you fucking call him out and he comes and talks to you, you say something. But this is struggling with turning the light on. When you get the Sun, that's a happiness, bliss, naked baby and a pony. Purity, purity. And that's what's being blocked by the Queen of Pentacles, the counterpart to the King of Pentacles in marriage. With the Two Swords is manifesting, is blocking this manifestation, and it's what you do not want. What needs to be chucked in the fucking bucket is soulmates, is spiritually balanced soulmates, being able to do what's right through a mutual feeling companionship, being able to be an independent soulmate. If you, oh my gosh, being spiritually balanced and spiritually balanced, independent soulmates. So both of you have to be through justice. You have to be able to pass the spiritual test here. And here's the Two of Cups. The emotional soulmate ending the cycle quickly with the Lover's connection. Quickly making a stand against the Ten Swords. Who's about to take up for this connection that hasn't took up before? Queen of Cups, Lover. There's the King of Cups and the Eight Swords. This is the emotional lover. She come in with the mask. She's really the Queen of Swords. Her thoughts is going to bring in a Tower. Because she's pissed off at the masculine. That's why it has to be independently spiritually balanced. You can't spiritually balance their side, and they can't spiritually balance yours. What's going to change or what needs to change is how you successfully recognize on how you find peace and contentment within. This is an argument with a third party coming together and with the argument to recognize that this move forward will bring new energy. This argument has to happen. That's why the Six Wands is in reverse up there. It hasn't happened yet. It's being manifested right now. Ooh. Finding peace and contentment after successfully recognizing where the argument's coming from. And blocking spirit realm. That's judgment on the Knight of Wands. Making a final firm decision to either have a one-night stand or, that's having sex without love. Why would you have sex with someone you don't love? It's bad energy. That's what's being reflected on. That's soul searching, shadow working, shining the light on the serpent. And there's the Magician. Queen of Cups. The feminine is manifesting to shine the light on any serpent against the masculine, so he won't feel bad for leaving them behind. Some of them look like damsels in distress, and it's the same thing on the feminine side. So they're manifesting that neither one of them look at those soulmates anymore, because that's just their way of taking their kindness for their weakness. What you don't know about? Ace of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles. Wow. So the Ace of Pentacles is a card of manifestation, but it's also a contract in stone. And with the Four of Pentacles, that's stabilizing the mindset, observing. See what this is. Somebody's reconsidering trying to take control of the contract. What's the World? Reconsidering because of the way the contract ended. They tried to walk away emotionally. 8 Cups. Or the Devil, you have 8 Cups and the 5 Wands. They didn't soul search. Instead, they got into a karmic contract. And this came quickly. They sparked the interest of the contract. It was exactly what they were looking for. So, right then, they turned their back on you because you made a powerful stance that you were going to leave it. If it got to where you was undermining you, there is your 8 Cups and your 6 Swords, 10 Swords. You called for judgment. You called intuitive judgment because it would block your manifestations to master your energy. You called all your power back at that moment, and they felt it. My goodness. Yeah, because you called for judgment. You did the breaker 1-9. Ancestors, can you help me? You want to clarify. You wanted to clarify before you initiated a small contract and invest into a bigger contract if this would interfere with you working together and analyzing spirit interests of jealousy. And that's what the Tower come in. Anytime you get the Tower, that's 5D card. The Divine brings those cards. No human can bring them. They can only bring them after the 10 Swords. After you allow yourself being undermined over and over and over again. Then you have someone manifesting for you to be okay. And the Divine is like, okay, let me go check on them for you. They check on them. Yeah, boom, shakalaka. They'll bring that Tower thing. Even if you're not ready, they'll bring it. What are they actually reconsidering in the end? Trickery, manifestation, love. Mastering love, King of Swords. They feel like maybe you done a love spell on them to master their thought of the energy of the feminine. It's like your face is on everything they touch. If they're at a stoplight and they look up at the light, there's your face in the light, you know. They look down at the dashboard to see how fast they're going, there's your face at the dashboard. Your face is everywhere, but never to be found. It's tattooed in their mentality through their eyesight. My goodness. What's going to be the potential outcome here? Be careful. For some of you, this is cheating in a marriage, or got married because they were immature. This was an immature marriage. And that's what's being thought about. The King of Swords, masculine energy in a strategic thought, Aquarius of the offer. Remember that Four of Cups is what you shouldn't be worried about right now? Remember the Four of Cups that tilted with the moon? That's this that's being... And then you have the Four of Swords, Four of Cups with the Emperor and the King of Swords. So this masculine is strategically thinking about the cup being tipped. There's that Chariot in reverse. They didn't make a final and firm decision. They did not leave it all behind because of the jealousy, strife, and drama. They are the ones that brought in the competition. So to be able to find peace and contentment, they left it hanging to get a different perspective of the deception, the deceit, the lying, cheating, stealing. One sword would cut out 7 lies. And that we clarify that conflict and drama, that was their own internal problem. They challenged their own intuition, which is why it's weighing heavy on their own judgment. That new energy, guys, that new energy is only going to come in. This person literally has to break the heart of another woman, waiting for the right time to acknowledge that there's nothing else there to work with. 6 swords, 10 swords, that's why your 4 swords is there. Hiding the truth, unemotionally fulfilled until they reflect on trusting in their 6 senses to spark the interest. They're going to reflect when they spark the interest with this Queen of Cups. And then here comes the feminine. Then the Queen of Cups is going to come out here. So blindsided by the feminine, which that allowed these 2 women to master. This feminine had to start analyzing. Look, the abundance. The feminine had to start over. Well, that's where the tower is going to hit, because the divine is going over here with the feminine. It's a plan and preparation and a foresight of family and marriage on a change and a turning point. When you manifest a blessing, you got to be ready for it. This is the Ace of Swords. It's clarifying the transition, a clear transition. Ooh. Where would the feminine be right here? What could we tell the feminine? 5 Cups. And the Fool, she's released herself. She's set herself out for a spontaneous adventure, a good potential to just start over and be happy. Masculine, here's the Moon, and the Empress, and the Sun. He's coming back to enlighten the Moon. I don't know how else to say it. He has the 2 Pentacles and the Sun. He's hiding the feminine. He's coming back to enlighten. Looking for some truth and clarity. Some sort of sign. On the path of interest when it comes to his emotions. Here's the King to the Queen of Cups. 3 swords. That's breaking the heart of another woman. To be able to make a stand without support. And follow through with the get together. And invest in a soulmate. Until the end on the initiation. It's going to be shocking. When this masculine or Scorpio energy literally starts committing to you, to where it's something that they don't normally do. A lot of people that they hang around don't know you. They might know of you, might have heard about you 4 to 5 years ago, but they don't know you. But when you show up and somebody says, "Who's that?" And they're going to say, "Remember that person they were talking about 3 to 4 to 6 years ago? That's them." I don't know if you're in that situation, but maybe you should borrow your brother's car when you drive. That way if somebody starts following you around, they can follow your brother around. Leave your own cell phone at home. Get you a burner phone that only connects to Wi-Fi. There's Wi-Fi everywhere. When you travel, do not take anything with you, especially when you're on a divine starseed journey. I love you guys so much.